Well, hello everyone. Well, my last video I said we would talk about the reality of aliens. Now, I am quite well learned, and in my drama community, I don't get to show it much. But my amateur sciences are astronomy and geology. I'm quite good in both fields. Now, I do keep track of astronomy and what the scientists have to say. Now, the scientists have predicted that there should be 4 to, I think, yeah, it was 111 intelligent species in our galaxy. Now, scientists also have, through math, figured out that if life is 1 in a septillion, we are alone in the entire universe. Not just the galaxy, the entire universe. Now, last night I went over early life on Earth, and there were many close calls. Now, also knowing astronomy and science, the light barrier seems to be pretty hard. Now, we are thinking of certain ways around it, and we do have some chance of actually warping space to do this. Now, even with the warping of space, it is still going to take generations to get to what we would consider a habitable planet. Now, the question is there even a habitable planet? This planet is tailored for us completely. The reality is that when an alien civilization goes into space, they will have to terraform everything or eventually evolve into a different creature than what they started, but a space-born civilization that could never live again on the planet because they would be adapted to the environment of their crafts. It's the way it is. Now, I also know through science we live in 11-dimensional space. Now, we only experience 4 of these dimensions. The other 7 are higher dimensions, and you and I can't interact with them in any way. Now, the chances of space travel is best with these higher dimensions. Now, it's beyond our technology and understanding, but as I understand it right now, the thought of Star Trek style stuff, fantasy land. I mean, evolution makes pressure for you to evolve. The possum, he's almost the same as he was when the dinosaurs were running around. Crocodiles, too. 65 million years. And the only thing difference in them is they're a little bit smaller. Well, the possums are a little bigger and the crocodiles are smaller by a bit. Now, but an interesting thing about us is we don't understand it, but we're adapted to low light. When our ancestors were evolving underneath the dinosaurs, we had the nocturnal niche. Our eyes are developed for low light, even though we're no longer nocturnal. So a lot of aliens, it's going to depend on their biosphere. I mean, our biosphere had constant pressure. We had snowball Earth multiple times. We've had absolutely no ice on the planet many other times, long before humans even existed. But this is the nature of Earth. In another video, we might talk about all the close calls humanity has had in its evolutionary tract. We even survived one of these ice ages. What happened in one of them, a super volcano went off, bigger than any that ever happened, and it eventually created snowball Earth. And we've been rebounding from that ever since. Our climate never has been static. The truth about global climate change The climate had always changed, and it usually is because of the sun and volcanic activity. You see, basalt, the rock that comes out of the volcanoes, it's the best CO2 absorber on the planet. So when you get, the reality is sun, volcanoes, and their amount of activity pretty much decides our climate change, along with ocean currents. For example, England. Get out a map with latitude and longitude. Most of northern Europe should be no different than the northern tundra in Russia. The reason it's not is because there's Caribbean water that cycles like this. That's why Columbus ended up where he did. He took that current and it took him right to the Caribbean. And then they took that current right back, because that's what keeps Europe habitable, temperate, nice. Now, once again, many times that depends on the shapes of the continent, water flow, salinity, many factors. But yes, I mean, these are important pressures, is the whole point. Now, once again, if an alien species has everything it needs, it's not going to have evolutionary pressures to evolve. Now, also, the reality of it, we have to have heavy elements in our body to create someone like us. Now, we had two supernovas that went off that created the nebulous cloud that we formed out of. The reality of the matter is, we are early in the universe. We have good telescopes now, and we see no large-scale structures. Our understanding right now, if we had spacefaring capability, we could build a giant device for unlimited power around a black hole. You simply put a giant ring around the black hole and run it in the other direction, and you can bleed off rotational energy. Now, our biggest black hole is at the center of our galaxy, and we look at that as much as we can. There's no large-scale structures. We should, if there was, the advanced civilizations that we imagine, we should be finding these large-scale structures around some black holes. We don't. Why? It's not because we're likely to be the only life in the universe. We're early. Most science fiction has a progenitor race. Congratulations. So far from science, it looks like we're that progenitor race. And I'm looking up in the sky, and I got a feeling that the galaxy's in a lot of trouble. Now, everyone, please put your comments below, and have a good day.